President Trump's inaugural address was nothing short of controversial. A spectacle of provocative elements, it was a cocktail of ambition and audacity that left many abuzz. One such element that drew attention was the performance of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, a song from the Civil War era. Its inclusion was seen by some as a nod to a divided nation, while others viewed it as an inappropriate choice given the context. But the controversy didn't end there. In a move that could only be described as Trump-esque, the president made a promise that was, quite literally, out of this world. He claimed that during his term the Stars and Stripes would be planted on Mars. This audacious pledge left many wondering if it was a metaphor for American ambition or a literal promise of space colonization. These elements stirred up quite a reaction, but they were only part of the address. Among the controversies, Trump's speech was packed with promises that aimed at making the United States prosperous and free. A vision of prosperity, he claimed, that would be driven by the export of American energy. The plan is ambitious, but ambition is something that Trump called for in his address. He implored the nation to reach for the stars, to strive for greatness, not just in the field of energy, but across all sectors. But one cannot talk about ambition without addressing the hurdles that stand in the way. Trump acknowledged the elephant in the room, the crisis of trust in the government, a crisis that he attributed to the previous Biden administration. He critiqued their policies and decisions, painting a picture of a government that had lost touch with its people. Yet, he promised change. A change that would restore faith and trust in the government. A change that would bring about a prosperous and free United States. But as we know, promises are only as good as the actions that follow them. It's an easy thing to make grand claims, to paint a rosy picture of the future, but it's quite another to turn those words into reality. And so we wait. We wait to see if these promises will be fulfilled. We wait to see if this vision of a prosperous and free United States will come to pass. We wait to see if this call for ambition will inspire action. Because, as we all know, promises are easily made, but only time will tell if they are to be fulfilled. The reaction to Trump's inaugural address was as expected, polarizing. A myriad of responses flooded the media, creating a whirlpool of contrasting opinions. Some commentators, awed by the audacity of his ambition, lauded his plans. They admired his commitment to making the United States prosperous and free, his dedication to exporting American energy worldwide, and his frank acknowledgement of the crisis of trust in our government. They saw a leader who is determined and bold, one who is not afraid to make big promises and strive to achieve them. On the other side of the coin, there were those who criticized the controversial elements of his address. The performance of the Battle Hymn of the Republic and the audacious promises to plant the Stars and Stripes on Mars were seen as unnecessary theatrics, detracting from the seriousness of the occasion. Thus, the reaction to the speech was a vivid reflection of the divided political landscape we see today. Some saw promise and ambition, others saw controversy and extravagance. But such is the nature of politics. It's a realm of differing perspectives and disagreements. As with any political event, opinions are divided. So, what have we learned from Trump's inaugural address? It's been a whirlwind of ideas, aspirations, and controversy. A speech that undeniably echoes the spirit of a nation divided, yet hopeful for a future under the banner of the Stars and Stripes. Trump's address was a mixed bag of elements that sparked thought, debate, and even outrage. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. We delved into the controversial elements of the address, such as the performance of the Battle Hymn of the Republic and the audacious promise to plant the American flag on Mars. These elements, while stirring up a fair share of criticism, also reflected a bold and unapologetic vision for the country. Then we explored the promises made. Trump pledged to make the United States prosperous and free, a vision that was both ambitious and laden with criticism towards the Biden administration. He spoke of plans to export American energy and address the crisis of trust in the government. These promises, while lofty, paint a picture of a future where America rises from its current challenges stronger and more resilient. And finally, we discuss the polarizing reactions. The inaugural address was a mirror, reflecting a nation divided in its perceptions and expectations. Some praised Trump's call for ambition and his acknowledgement of the government's trust deficit, while others criticized the speech as a mere political performance. Despite these varying perspectives, one thing remains clear: this inaugural address has left an indelible mark on the canvas of American history. It has sparked conversations, ignited debates, and stirred emotions across the political spectrum. Regardless of our individual opinions, this inaugural address will go down in history as one of the most controversial and memorable.